Smooth Classroom. Today we'll have a short review of what we did last week, and I'm going to pick on the essential point of what we spoke about last week, and then today I'm going to be talking about why you ovulate. That is, you still have your menstrual cycle, whether regular or irregular, and still find it difficult getting a baby. Because there are lots of people that I have spoken to, they call me, they've gone to the hospitals, they have done a number of lab tests and all the stuff, and still are unable to have babies. What may be the reason? What is the reason? And I can tell you for a fact that yes, since you are ovulating, you should have a baby. And if you are not having a baby, then there's a problem. And the reasons why you're ovulating and you're not having a baby is what we'll be talking about today in Mr. Smooth's Corner. It is adult class on GNTV. It happens here only on GNTV every Wednesday from 10 p.m. to 11:30, and there's a repeat on Saturdays at 11 p.m. to 12:30. Yes, we do this every Wednesday and the repeat on Saturday. And I say it again, it is the most educative adult class in the whole of this continent. I will not narrow it down to Ghana alone. I'm saying it's the most educative adult show in the whole of this continent. One, it is not filthy. Two, we are not promoting promiscuity. Three, it is very informative and educative. And four, you get to know things that you think you know but didn't know. From Mr. Smooth and the adults class team. Yes, let's go back to what we talked about last week. Last week we looked at the menstrual cycle, and then we also showed you how you can teach your daughter growing up what menstruation is about, what she should expect, what the menstrual cycle is all about, and how she can be able to calculate when she is safe, when she is unsafe, and then how she can even get the length of the menstrual cycle. And then we spoke about getting a chart. We said that you should keep the chart for 3 to 6 months, and then you can know the average length of your menstrual cycle, and based on that you can know exactly when you are ovulating. We spoke about the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle, and then we also looked at the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle, and then we agreed that the follicular phase can either be long or short, but the luteal phase is usually 14 days. So no matter what your number of days or the average days that you have your menses is, you normally or usually would have to subtract it from 14 to be able to tell when you're ovulating. We said here that if you have a 26-day cycle, all you do is take 14 out of 26 days. And when you take 14 out of 26 days, we get to understand that the egg or ovulation will take place on the 12th day. So when you open your fertility window, your fertility window is opened between the 7th day after your menstruation and the 13th day after your menstruation. That is when your fertility window is open. So if you really want to get pregnant and you have studied your menstrual cycle, and it is actually a 26-day cycle. If it's a 26-day cycle, it means you're going to ovulate on the 12th day. So if it is starting from 1 to 26 and regularly it is 26, you take 14 out of 26 and you're ovulating on the 12th day. And I remember telling you that the day you menstruate is counted as day 1. So no matter what date it is, no matter what day it is counted as day 1. So day 1 all the way down to 26, the first month, the same thing, second month, third month, fourth month, you're able to calculate the average menstrual cycle length. And if the average menstrual cycle length is 26 days, you take 14 out of it and then you get 12, it simply means you would ovulate on the 12th day. And if your ovulation is on the 12th day, then your fertility window opens from the 7th day to the 13th day. Remember, once you ovulate, the egg can only live for a day. And also remember that the sperm of a man that is healthy can live between 3 to 5 days. So before ovulation, because of the hormonal changes that takes place, the changes between the estrogen and progesterone levels, the cervical mucus is produced that is able to keep the male sperm for between 3 to 5 days. So around that period, if the sperm is deposited and kept and the egg is released on the 12th day, then there's a likelihood of you getting pregnant around that time. Also, we said that some people also have 27-day cycle, and if you have a 27-day cycle, all you need to do is to subtract 14 from 27 and you get 13. It means that you're going to ovulate on the 13th day. So your fertility cycle is open from the 8th day after the first time you saw blood to the 14th day. It is around that time that when you want to get pregnant and you engage in something sexual, you should be able to get pregnant. And then also, I said if you have a 29-day cycle, you take 14 out of 29, you get 15, and your fertility window is open from the 10th day to the 16th day. If you have a 30-day cycle, it means you ovulate on the 16th day, so your fertility window is open from the 11th day to the 17th day. If you have a 32-day window, it simply means that your ovulation period is on the 18th day because you take 14 out of 32, and then your fertility window is open from 13 to the 18th or 19th day. Now, if you have a 33-day window, it also means that if you have a 33-day cycle, when you take 33 out of 14, you're going to get 19. So your fertility window is 3 days to 4 days or 5 days before ovulation and a day after it. So basically, that is what we are showing you on the show. Now, the interesting thing is, some people would ovulate all right, but still find it difficult having babies. Why is it so? Why is it that some women would ovulate and still not be able to have babies? Well, according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, they are saying that if you engage in sex regularly for 12 months, when the man is ejaculating regularly inside you for 12 months and you are unable to conceive, then there's a problem. So although 12 months without conceiving is typically used as a cutoff to tell that you have a problem or a possible fertility problem, it is also recommended that you have an evaluation. You have a 6-month evaluation where you engage a doctor or a gynecologist in checking whether you are able to have a child or not, especially when you are 35 years as a woman or when you are 40 years and above as a man. So I'm trying to say here that if you are 35 years and above as a woman, your fertility rate dips and it becomes a little more difficult to have children. So you can ovulate all right and still not be able to have children because your fertility rate dips. The same way, if you are a man and you are 40 years and above, your sperm count, your sperm quality also reduces. And then if you are 40 years and above and you have a wife who is 35 years and above and you're finding it difficult to have kids, it is important that you see a qualified medical practitioner or gynecologist to help you have children. Now, one of the other reasons why you may not be able to have children, even though you are ovulating, is when you have menstrual problems. When you have menstrual problems, there are some women who do not menstruate at all, and then there are others who have very light menstruations. Some will even call them spottings, and then there are others who have excessive bleeding. So when you're having problems with not menstruating at all, or having a very little menstrual cycle, or blood flowing out of you when you ovulate, it simply means that there are problems with the pituitary gland, there are problems with the pineal gland, and the body is not releasing the gonadotropin releasing hormone, and then the follicle stimulating hormones well, to be able to get the body produce enough estrogen and progesterone to have the egg laid for you to be able to have children. So it's important that you look at that. So if your menses is scanty, very small, you should check it, because then you're menstruating, you can't have a child. And if the blood is also excessive, it is also a sign that you are not going to be able to have children. And then if you don't menstruate at all, it also shows that there's a problem. Now, you can also have very short menstrual cycles. There are some people who have very irregular menstrual cycles. They can't even predict when they're going to menstruate. So if your menstrual cycles are very short, you should look at it. You should seek help. If it is extremely long, especially when it's more than 35 days, you should seek help. And then if it varies in absence, it comes this month and then shows up 2 months after that, or the third month it doesn't come, the fourth month it shows up, it means that there's a problem that you need to look at. And then also, if, like I said before, if the menses is flowing, the blood is just coming, it means that there's a problem that needs to be controlled or needs to be checked. So if you have abnormal hormonal levels, these things are regular, and there are products in the system that you can use without necessarily hitting injections and all, taking hormonal balance, hormonal control, or hormonal syrups and hormonal tablets and stuff. There are products you can use to keep your hormones balanced actually. So now you can also have PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndromes, and you would ask what this one is. This is simply caused by imbalance in the reproductive hormones of females, and it actually affects the way the ovaries behave. It affects the way the ovaries functions, especially in the luteal phase. That's the second part of the menstrual cycle. I told you the menstrual cycle is made up of 2 sessions. We have the first part, which is the follicular phase, which is normally either short or long. That is before the egg is laid. And then after the egg is laid, that's the luteal phase, which is usually 14 days in its length. So if you're having abnormal hormonal problems, these are usually caused by when your thyroid gland is not functioning well, or your adrenal gland is not functioning well. This is a problem. When the hormone that is supposed to be released to the pituitary gland, or released from the pituitary gland to the thyroid gland and to the adrenal gland, are not being released well, this can cause you not to be able to have children even though you are ovulating. And some women may also have this disease that we call endometritis. It is normally very difficult to diagnose this particular problem, because most women will assume it's a menstrual cramp, because yes, it comes with a lot of pain when you're having your menses, and a lot of pain around the lower pelvic area. And there are millions of women all over the world who experience this, and most times it is experienced, or it is diagnosed at the very latter part of the woman's age, because normally when they're having pain or painful menstruation, they assume that it is menstrual cramp. but it could be endometritis. And endometritis is simply when a tissue of the endometrium or the lining of the uterus finds itself outside the uterus. And once it finds itself outside the uterus, anytime you're bleeding, anytime you're having your menstrual cycle, that side will also bleed. It will bleed outside the uterus, and the blood is unable to come out through the vagina, and it drops down in the pelvic floor, and it causes a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort. Most times endometritis are, like I said, they are normally misdiagnosed. They are taken to be painful menstruations, and it becomes a problem for the woman because until a proper test is done, the doctor or the gynae is unable to tell that what you're having is a uterus lining finding itself outside the womb, or the endometrium lining finding itself outside the womb, and they are going to give you painkillers as usual to try to kill the pain, and then assume that it is menstrual cramps. So when you're having severe menstrual cramps, don't assume that it is normal menstrual cramps and go on taking painkillers. Try and find out whether it is just a cramp or it is the uterus lining that is finding itself or places itself outside the uterus that is also bleeding, that is causing your pain. Very important that you look at. There are other women that will also have fibroids, and when you have fibroids are just muscular tumors that grow in the wall of the uterus, and then sometimes they are really disturbing. They can become very big, and they cause a lot of pain and prevent the woman from getting pregnant. And then for some women too, they would ovulate all the same and still not be able to get children, simply because they have primary ovarian insufficiency. This simply means that the ovaries do not actually mature before the time when they are supposed to menstruate, and this is also a hormonal problem that can be addressed. So if you are having such a problem, you are having your menses and you are still finding it difficult to get pregnant, we should look at some of these things I'm talking about, because some of these things could be the basic reasons why you're unable to get pregnant. Now, what else do we look at? Some women would have some sort of chronic illnesses, but before then, when you have a defect in the second part of your menstrual cycle called the luteal phase, it becomes very difficult for you to have regular menstrual cycles, because the luteal phase is normally 14 days, and for some women 12 days before, that is after you ovulate. And if this doesn't happen, if there's any disturbances in the endometrium line, you have a lot of discomfort, you have a lot of trouble. So you should ensure that your luteal phase is also very correct between 12 and 14 days. And one other thing that you should also note is, if your second half of your menses, that is after you ovulate, if you have any problems with that 14 days, the hormones that are released, the progesterone that are released, the estrogen that are released, if you have any problems with around that area, you'll get pregnant and get a miscarriage. So some people get pregnant all the same by ovulating and then the man implanting sperm and then getting pregnant, but between the time that they take the seed and the time that they make they have their next menses, because of the hormonal problems they have, they get a miscarriage. That is a problem or a defect of the luteal phase, and that is something too that is addressable, something that can be looked at by both doctors and myself. We can get you stuff to help you deal with that. Now, some people have some chronic illnesses, and those chronic illnesses doctors give them prescribed medications, and some of these prescribed medications give other problems. For instance, if you have a chronic problem like diabetes, you are giving certain products that would affect the normal will affect your insulin receptors, because the ovaries have insulin receptors. So if your diabetes is affecting the rate at which insulin is released or dealt with in the body, your insulin receptors in the ovaries will not react well and will not lay the egg, and that will also not make you be able to have babies. So here also we are saying that if you are having problems with fertility, and like I said, you have chronic illnesses, you need to look at it. Some people are having problems that they are given antidepressants. Antidepressants will also affect the way your body reacts. If you are given medications that are used in treating peptic ulcers, these medications will also affect the way the ovaries react. If you are giving medications that actually cause infertility, you would also have problems with this. So men would have problems producing sperm when they are giving medications that will reduce antidepressants. When men are given medications that have antidepressants, it will reduce the sperm count and sperm quality. And then for women who are also taking medications that are for peptic ulcer and other related issues, would also affect the quality of the egg that is released. And these two things alone can also prevent you from getting pregnant when you even ovulate. So anytime you're dealing with such chronic illnesses, if you really want to get pregnant, there's the need to see a qualified medical practitioner that will help you deal with these issues. Now, there are other things that you should also take note of. Most people would blame the woman for not having children, but in 30% of cases, it is the man who is unable to produce quality eggs, strong eggs, eggs that are strong, that can swim past the cervix into the fallopian tube to fertilize the egg that has been released by the woman. So if you're not having children, don't necessarily put the problem on the woman, as we have always done. And most times men think that because they release sperm, because they have sex and ejaculate, they are capable of having children. It would amaze you that you can have sex and ejaculate and not have a single spermatozoa living in the seminal fluid that you produced. So when you really want to have children and the children are not coming, and you are engaging in sexual intercourse for 6 to 1 year and you are still not having babies, don't just allow the woman to be doing all the tests. Men, allow yourself to also do a sperm count or a fertility test, so we can ascertain that both of you are capable of having children. And if both of you are capable of having children, then we need to check the acidity of the vagina, we need to check the acidity of the male sperm, the alkalinity of the vagina, the alkalinity of the male sperm, the hormonal balances inside the vagina. So many basic things can be assessed to be able to check and find what the exact cause is, or the exact causes are, so both of you can have children as and when you want. So that is what you should also look at. It is also prudent to also understand that as we age, our fertility and the quality of the sperm and the quality of the egg also dips. So if you are advanced in age, especially you are a woman, you are 35 years and above, your fertility dips, the quality dips. The same way if you are 40 years and above, the sperm quality dips, as I said. So your sperm quality will not be as good as that of a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old when you are 40. So men, stop blaming your wives when you are 40 years and above and you impregnate her and she gets a miscarriage. Most times it is not necessarily coming from the luteal phase. It is also because the male sperm is weak and the male sperm is unable to sustain itself inside the crossed fertilized egg of the woman. So it's also important that you look at that, so you don't always have to blame the woman for not being fertile, because it could also be from the men. And then also research is showing that if partners are more than 5 years, if the age gap is more than 5 years than the woman, if the man is 5 years or more older than the woman, and the woman is 35, it becomes difficult having kids. So if it is not happening, you are above 45 years and your wife is above 35 years and you're not having kids, don't blame the woman. You may do a test, your sperm is fine. The woman will do a test, she's ovulating, her progesterone levels are fine. But simply because you are old and she is old, the likelihood of having the luteal phase sustained, the likelihood of you being able to plant the sperm, because you can have the sperm, but if the sperm is not running the way it should run through the vagina, through the ooze, into the uterus to get to the fallopian tube, if it's not running well when you are old, it doesn't run well. And your sperm should run as fast as the fastest man on earth now, Usain Bolt. Check it out. That is the speed of the sperm. That is very healthy. Now also, you can also have problems with the fallopian tube. When you have blockages in the fallopian tube, you can still ovulate and not have pregnancy, because pregnancy normally takes place inside the fallopian tube. So if the fallopian tube is blocked, the egg will find its way through it. But once it is fertilized, it becomes difficult for the egg to roll all through the 5 days or more or so from the fallopian tube to implant itself inside the uterus for the baby to start developing, or for the fetus to start developing into a human being. So it is important that you also check if you don't have blocked fallopian tubes. And there are a lot of tests that are done, a lot of scans that can be done to check whether you have a blocked fallopian tube or not. So don't just sit down and say that, hey, I'm fine, I'm having my menses, everything is fine with me, and I'm not having children, and you start blaming your grandmother or the witches in your family. It could just be something really simple that you could deal with. Also, if you have problems with the uterus, you can also have your ovulation all right and still not be able to have children. Interestingly enough, if you are obese, if you become too fat, it becomes a problem getting children. And if you become too lean, it also becomes a problem getting children. So there's a need to check your body mass index, because when you lose too much weight, it becomes a problem having children. When you put on too much weight, it also becomes a problem having children. And then women who smoke, if you really want to have kids, then you should smoke very little or stop it completely, and also stop using alcohol, especially hard liquor. So when you smoke excessively and you take excessive levels or volumes of alcohol, it becomes difficult for you to have children. And then you should also notice that if you engage in recreational drugs as a woman, if you engage in marijuana, hashish, crack, cocaine, and all those things, it becomes difficult for you to have kids, because the vagina becomes very, very acidic and the sperm can't survive. And then also, if you're a woman and you've had any issue with the treatment of cervical cancers, cancers if you're treating any problem with cancers, the treatment actually affects your fertility. So we should also look at that. And like I said before, if you have problems with diabetes, it becomes another problem. And then if you're having arthritis, you're having problems with inflammations and some disorders of the autoimmune system, you're also going to have problems with having children. Because if the autonomic nervous system and autoimmune system is not functioning well, it becomes difficult for the body to even program itself to release the GNRS, for you to even have the FHS and have hormones released for you to have a proper menstruation and proper ovulation. So we should also look at that. So one area that we should also look at is, normally we say that if you try getting pregnant for a year and you are having sex regularly and you are not getting pregnant, it is important that you consult a health practitioner. There's this question that I have to answer. Last week somebody asked it, can you become pregnant if you are not ovulating? The answer is an obvious no. It is not possible to become pregnant if the body is not ovulating. Pregnancy occurs only when the woman ovulates, lays the egg, and the man deposits a sperm, and then the sperm fertilizes the egg. It becomes a fetus, and then it grows inside the woman's from the fallopian tube all the way into the uterus, implants itself, and then starts growing from there. So if you are not ovulating, it is not possible to have a child. Now, what are the signs? What would you see that will make you know that you are not ovulating? Because when you are ovulating and you are not having children, I have shown you the exact reasons why you are ovulating and not having children. So what happens if you are not ovulating? What may be the reasons why you are not ovulating? I'm going to show you a few of them, and then next week when we come, God willing, we'll be able to continue to talk about the reasons why you are not ovulating. Now, there will be three main reasons why you are not ovulating. When you have a problem with the hypothalamus, when you have a problem with your pituitary gland, excuse me, when you have problems with your ovaries. So these three things will be the key reasons why you will not ovulate. When you have a problem with your hypothalamus, you have a problem with your pituitary gland, and you have a problem with your ovaries. This will be the three main reasons why you will not ovulate. Now, I will dig deep into what the hypothalamus is, what makes it not function well so you don't ovulate. I will dig deep into what the pituitary gland is, what are the causes and the reasons why you have problems with the pituitary gland, so messages and hormones are not released well for you to be able to have your ovulation. And then also I'll look at why the ovary also gets problems, and these three things will not make you ovulate and will not make you have children. But I hope you have learned something amazing today on the adults class. Yes, your messages can keep coming on my number 0244 66 1011. Excuse me. And if you are ovulating and you're not having children, my number is right there on the screen. You can talk to me. I can get you something you can use, or I can show you something you can do to make you have that baby that you're yearning to have. If you're a man and you have low sperm count and you want to have a natural way of dealing with it, my number is on the screen. You can pick it, 0244 66 1011. We can be talking and we can find a way to deal with it. If the vaginal hormones If the pH of the vagina is also not correct, it becomes impossible to have children. There also, you can ovulate, you can have your regular menstrual cycle, you can have all the scans and all the tests in the world, and still not be able to have children, because the acidity of the vagina will kill all the sperm that the man deposits. You want to balance the acidity in there. There are products that you can use to get that balance, so you can be able to have the babies at the exact time that you want. And like we're saying, in these lessons that we are doing, we're going to show you exactly how you can have a boy, exactly how you can have a girl, and exactly how you can plan and have a baby at a particular month, at a particular date. So we are looking at that as we progress in our studies on the adults class. So I can say it again here, that the adults class is the most educative adult show in this country, and I can add the whole of the continent Africa to it. But we end here. My name is Papa Kwamna. You can call me Mr. Smooth, and I was the teacher for the class, or in Mr. Smooth's class. This happens here only on GNTV's adults class. It's on Wednesdays between 10:30 and 11:30. Yes, the phone lines will be activated. The phone number is on the screen now. When we go for a break, we come back. You call us, and then you share your views, what you have learned, what you know that you can add, and then we all keep learning, because I'm not a doctor, and I know there are doctors, there are gynaes, there are medical professionals out there who are watching this show. So whatever you have to add to the show to enrich it, we are waiting for you. And then also, we are still looking for sponsors to sponsor this show, so that we can continue to bring this show to you. So we'll be back after this very short break, and when we come back, we'll become interactive. The phone lines will be activated, and then we can receive the phone calls. So stick and stay with us. We are back on adults class. The phone lines activated, and the phone lines are already barely. So if you want to call us, it is 050-9453-927, 050-9453-927, and we going to become interactive. Whatever your issues are, there are solutions. It is not over yet. If you really want to have a child, you can still have one. So yeah, we have a call on the line. Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Please, I'm Gifty from Suhum.
Okay, Gifty from Suhum, let's hear you.
Okay, I was pregnant on the February.
You were pregnant on February?
February.
Yeah.
So I got miscarried in May.
Uh-huh.
Since then, I was 28 days menstrual cycle.
You have a 28-day menstrual cycle?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But after my miscarriage,
yeah,
it has become 22 days.
Yeah.
So,
now the question I'm asking you is, have you used any birth control pills or emergency contraceptive pills?
please no, since my miscarriage, I've been used.
Okay, so we need to look at it, because it could be a hormonal problem. The miscarriage itself, do you know what caused it? Do you know what caused it? Was it that?
Okay, I fell down.
You fell down. Good.
Okay. Yes, because when I get my menstrual on my waist, I felt the pain in my waist.
Alright, so pick my number 0244-66-1011. Call me tomorrow. Let's have a chat. Let's find a way out, okay? Thank you very much. We have another call on the line. Hello, caller. Okay, please, my husband is having a problem in love making for us to have babies. Okay, I don't understand the problem you think your husband is having. You didn't add your name, but you can let me know what problem you think your husband is having, so we can look at it. Do you have a call on the line? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening, I'm Georgina. I'm calling from Roman Ridge.
Okay, Georgina, let's hear you.
Please, I was pregnant around last year and I'm not miscarriage because I felt like I want to deliver, and when I went there, the baby I can't give birth, so they have to give me some pills to solve the thing. But since then, around me, I've tried as much as possible to get pregnant, and I'm not getting it.
All right, so you pick my number. Call me. Let's find a way out. Okay, if I have to direct you to a gynae, I'll do so. So 0244 Call me tomorrow. Let's have a chat. All right. So thank you very much for calling. Okay. Hi. Please. Good evening. I'm watching your show live, but I have some issues. I do have my regular menses ever since I was born. Haven't conceived before. Had a lot of tests. Okay, so you are saying that you have not been able to get pregnant before, ever since you were born. So no troubles. Let's talk about it. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Takwa.
Takwa. Okay, let's hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm dating a girl for about 3 years now. She has not complained of, let's say, she have been pregnant or something like that.
So why do you want to? But the thing is, why are you dating her and you want her to get pregnant? Why won't you marry her before she gets pregnant? Why are you dating her? You think she should get pregnant for you? If you want pregnancy, go marry her. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so I have okay, so that was from Lorinda from Kumasi. She says she's never been pregnant before. Lorinda, call me. Let's have a chat later. Okay. Okay, I have another one from Ma Ekua. Okay, it was Ma Ekua who says you are in you are the one who says that your husband is not doing well in bed. Ha, that's nice. Okay, my name is Zinab. Please, for more than a year now, I tried to become pregnant, but it doesn't come. Zinabo, I don't know what it is, but give me a call later on. Let's have a chat and find a way out so we can be able to deal with this issue. Do we have another call on the line? Hello, caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm called Abdel Mohamed from Tamale, Tripoli.
Hey, Tamale, Tripoli. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear you.
I want to find out. My girlfriend has told me she normally sees her menses twice a month. So, and I didn't believe it. So I want to find out whether it's true or not.
You see, it depends on the type of month and it depends on the length of the menses. Yes, she can have her menses twice in a month. Yes, if the month is long and she has a 21-day cycle, she can see it twice. But if it is not so, then if she is actually menstruating 2 times in a month, that's a problem. So we need to look at the length of her menstrual cycle to be able to ascertain whether it's a problem or it's just having two of it in a month. One long, one short follicular phase happening in there. Thank you very much. So call me back door. Let's have a chat. Good evening. God richly bless you for your teachings. You didn't add your name. Thank you very much for watching the adults class. All right, so there's one here. My wife is 7 months old after childbirth and still have not started ovulating. Please, is there a problem? Could you mention? Yeah.
Good morning.
Yes. Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm married for about 7 years now.
Yeah.
The 2 times.
Okay.
And we went to a hospital. They said I'm for 5,000 sperm the night. 5,000.
They say you have 5,000.
Yes, my sperm is about 5,000. And the little two, they said they don't find it. But they only scan the stomach and found out there's no improvement.
There's no problem.
Yes, that one they scan the stomach.
But you see, if you have 5,000 sperm, you have a problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, you should get into the millions because the body produces 2 million sperm a day. So if you have 5,000, it means you have low sperm count. Call me fast.
5 million sperm.
Because 5,000 is low. Very, 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 very. And the next thing is, if the woman is okay and your sperm is also okay, we need to look at the mobility of your sperm and the acidity of the vagina, and then even some sex positions that you use to plant the sperm in a way that it should not travel long from the vagina into the cervix. So you call me later, let's have a chat.
Okay.
All right, so Kujo Mensa, I read your message. 7 months, she's not ovulating. Let's see, because sometimes it happens. But you call me, let's find a way out. All right, somebody just say hello. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I bet you guys are sure. Okay. All right. More messages. Thank you very much, Ma Christie. Hello. Your name and where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Mama, calling from Dansuman.
Dansuman. Okay. Which part of Dansuman? Last stop. Okay. All right. I have family around that area anyway. Let me say good evening to the Stone family. Yeah?
I'm 38 years.
Great.
How will I know if I'm still ovulating? Because sometimes I don't get it.
If you're ovulating, it means you have your menses.
Yeah. If I'm having my menses, then
you have your menses regularly. Yes. It is after ovulation that you have your.
So if the number of days that I menstruate, if 5 days and it has been reduced to 3 days, it's okay.
Yes, like I said, the follicular phase can change. It can become longer or shorter. It can become either 3, 5, 7. You get that? The follicular phase can be shorter or longer, but the luteal phase is usually 14 days. It is around that area that when you have a problem, then you have a real problem that we need to look at. When it's in the second half, not the first half. That's right. In the middle, you have your ovulation, and after ovulation, that's the second half, and that is where we say it's usually 14. Great. Thanks for calling. If there's anything, just give me a call. Let's have a chat later.
All right. Thank you for the
Okay, so good evening, Mr. Smooth. I just watched your show, and I like it. Thank you. All right, so let me read it. I really want to have a baby, but I have been trying for years now, and no results. I have no operations or ovarian cysts, and yet no results. Call me, let's find a way out. Let's check the acidity of the vagina, and then let's be able to all right, so hello caller. Hello. Mr. Smooth, thank you very much for the education you are giving us. Nobody has given me this education ever since I started menstruating, and if I had had this education, I would have been able to control myself. Okay. Hello caller.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Rafik, calling from West.
Okay, I'll be there. I'm leaving Accra for work tomorrow, so I'll be in.
Okay.
I'll be in Wow on Friday.
Okay.
And then I think I have a program with the GBC branch, the GBC FM there on Saturday. On there, you know they have the late night show. I'll be on that program. But I'll be based in Drapa, so I'll be expecting you there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, my problem is that my girlfriend, my will I even say my girlfriend? My wife just conceived almost 3 months now. And then she somehow complaining of waist pain.
Waist pain.
Whether there should be a problem or sometimes it happens.
How old is she?
She's about 24 years old.
Okay. Normally, when you have a baby in there, like you feel something new, and then you feel something new in there, and as the baby is growing, the weight itself will also tell on your weight, or on your waist. And then if you're not very hippie, you're unable to hold it. So don't worry. There's nothing wrong with her. There's
nothing wrong.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with her. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Okay.
But I mean, give me a call on Friday afternoon because I'll be in WA. Give me a call, okay? All right. So we have another caller on the line. Hello, caller. Give me your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Ben from Tamale.
Great, Tamale. Let's hear you.
Yes. Okay, sir. My problem is I've been married for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And my wife categorically told me that she doesn't want us to have a baby now.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine for the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she doesn't want to have a baby now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed something. Like anytime or any period I thought that she's in a free period now, we can have an intercourse. But at the time she's in a danger period, there's no good area.
Mm-hmm.
So I just called to find out, is there a way like I can surprise her to score a goal because she realized it's a goal?
But the thing is, you see, the two of you have to agree to have a child. And then if she says she doesn't want a child, and then from what you are saying, she really knows the menstrual cycle, and she knows when she's ovulating and when she's not ovulating.
So she'll be dodging.
Yeah, she'll be dodging you. She already knows when she can get pregnant, and she doesn't want to use a contraceptive pills. So I think she's smart. She's very intelligent, and then she's at least she should give you a reason why she doesn't want to have kids. And then if it is your finances, you need to better it. And let's talk. We can find a way out. Okay. Let's talk. Yeah. We can find a way out. All right. So we'll pick our last caller. Hello. Give me your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Ben from Tamale.
Great, Tamale. Let's hear you.
Yes. Okay, sir. My problem is I've been married for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And my wife categorically told me that she doesn't want us to have a baby now.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine for the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she doesn't want to have a baby now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed something. Like anytime or any period I thought that she's in a free period now, we can have an intercourse. But at the time she's in a danger period, there's no good area.
Mm-hmm.
So I just called to find out, is there a way like I can surprise her to score a goal because she realized it's a goal?
But the thing is, you see, the two of you have to agree to have a child. And then if she says she doesn't want a child, and then from what you are saying, she really knows the menstrual cycle, and she knows when she's ovulating and when she's not ovulating.
So she'll be dodging.
Yeah, she'll be dodging you. She already knows when she can get pregnant, and she doesn't want to use a contraceptive pills. So I think she's smart. She's very intelligent, and then she's at least she should give you a reason why she doesn't want to have kids. And then if it is your finances, you need to better it. And let's talk. We can find a way out. Okay. Let's talk. Yeah. We can find a way out. All right. So we'll pick our last caller. Hello. Okay, so let me do some more messages. I have here. Good evening. This is Mr. Smooth. I am. Good evening, Mr. Smooth. I am Caroline from WA. Okay, like I said, I'll be coming to WA very soon. This weekend I'll be in WA. I'm enjoying the program, and I have tried to be pregnant. Okay, hello, caller. Hello. To be pregnant for the past 6 months, and I am not getting it. Okay, just take your time. I mean, you need to do a test, check whether everything is okay between yourself and your husband, and if everything is fine, then you should be able to have kids. Anyway, so if the last call is not coming in, then we would have to run out of the studios. We have used our time, and I'm sure you enjoyed the show. My name is Papa Kwamina. You can call me Mr. Smooth. Last call, you managed to sneak in. Hello, caller. Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from? You are what? MFA. Okay, let's hear you.
I have my.
You have your what?
I have trouble.
I can't hear what you're saying.
I have trouble.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Hello.
Lower the volume of your TV set so we can hear you. Otherwise, I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I said I have trouble on the cycle.
Great. What is the problem?
It comes in annually. Yes, for today's thing.
I didn't hear what you said.
I was like, I have trouble on the cycle.
That I heard it. And then you said that it does what?
It normally comes at the end of every month.
It comes at the end of every month.
For only 2 or 3 days.
It comes for 2 or 3 days and that's all.
Yeah, then the blood doesn't flow.
The blood doesn't flow properly. Okay, so are you in Accra?
Yeah.
Okay, so call me tomorrow. Let's find a way out, okay? You can get you something to get the blood flowing well.
Okay.
Great. Alright, so thank you very much for watching the adults class. And like I keep saying, the adult class is currently the most educative adult show in the whole of this country. I would want to thank everyone who made this show possible. Chrissy Dope, Abner Dubai, Mr. Eugene. I won't forget Mr. Richmond Kilsing, who actually made this show really possible. I won't forget Mustafa, who is now taking care of me when I come here. And the entire GNTV crew, I won't forget you. And I will also not forget my team members in the Redwood family, the Mary Redwood family, the elite team. I won't forget the godfather of network marketing, Mr. Andrew Apor. I won't forget Mr. Fred Mensah and the wife. You've been very helpful to me. I will not forget Mr. Foster Edu Yaudate and Victor and the entire team of the elite family for today helping me rank advance in the business as well. And for all my team members, Edward, who also become the elite today, Efia, Sewa, and all the wonderful team, Odasem, and I just can't mention everybody's name, but the entire Redwood family, the entire elite family, the entire dream team. I love you all, and we'll see you next week with another wonderful session. But I promise that next week when I come, I'll try and show you some sex position. It's 0244 66 10 11. 0244 66 10 11. If you want to have any chat with me, just call me. If you want to have children, call me. Whether you're a man or a woman, you want to have children, we can find a way out of it. And yes, those who are having premature ejaculations, those who want penis enlargement and all that, we can still do it. So yeah, it is Mr. Smooth, and I'm out of here like that. See you next week.